comes along and isn't afraid to set an example, to stand up for what is right and just and knock some holes in that glass ceiling, it is a perfect time for me to use my voice and help shine that light. My personal hope is that one day you'll pick up this compendium to give it a nostalgic perusal. Show it to your grandchildren. Point out a conspicuous autograph on one of the pages and say, "She signed this for me before she became president."
Introduction. The Meaning of AOC. Lynda Lopez. Under the elevated subway train on Westchester Avenue in the Bronx, the part that runs between Castle Hill Avenue and Parkchester, is a vibrant, multicultural, bustling stretch of main drag that somehow manages all at once to feel big city and exactly like home. The road goes past El Tejano restaurant, the beauty bar, and the Dollar Tree. It runs up to the main entrance of the Parkchester stop of the 6 train, where a handful of riders exit the station's doors and pour out into the street every few minutes all day long. Though the subway's relentless rumbling and the ear-splitting screeches of its brakes can be heard and felt throughout the day, there is none of the frenetic energy here that you'd find in Manhattan. It's a low-key and almost quiet outer borough neighborhood of mostly Black and Latino residents. And in the space right next to the Parkchester branch of the New York Public Library, across from the McDonald's and the Catholic Guardian Services building, is the Bronx district office of the youngest woman ever elected to Congress. It is in the neighborhood where she was born and now lives, and it sits just blocks from where I grew up in the Castle Hill section of the Bronx. From the beginning, there was something that intrigued me about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, her stunning win over a 10-term incumbent New York congressman, and the policy positions that were blowing people's minds with a progressivism we hadn't seen from a political newcomer in a while, to be sure. But it was looking at her Westchester Avenue district office address and seeing her apply red lipstick in the small bathroom of her Bronx apartment in the documentary Knock Down the House that drew me in a different way. There was some innate understanding there, something that made me want to root for her. It felt not just familiar, it felt as if it validated my being. It made me think of all the women I knew who came before, who put on lipstick in those same small bathroom mirrors. The ones who went out into the world without privilege or a leg up, and raised all of us daughters to go out in that world, steeled by their strength and lessons in self-reliance. The ones who taught us to survive so that the next generation could thrive. Ocasio-Cortez made it clear she came to this run for Congress to make her district, our neighborhood, a better, easier, more successful, more fruitful place to live. And when you come from this place, it's hard not to root for that. I loved my mostly Puerto Rican neighborhood growing up, and still do. But even then, it was hard to ignore its challenges, the simple realities of the struggles here that still exist today. The local child poverty rate is a staggering 40%. In health outcomes for its residents, the Bronx ranks dead last in the state of New York, 62nd out of 62 counties, when counting health factors such as obesity rates, smoking, mental health, the quality of air and water, access to healthy foods, unemployment, and income inequality. Schools here are at 105% capacity. The poorest of the country's 435 congressional districts is in the Bronx. The economic realities of this place mean that for most residents, the security of enough doesn't exist. Lack defines the lives of too many. Whenever I find myself back in this neighborhood, my mind is never far from the grit, strength, and hustle it takes to press through the everyday stress and try to live your best possible life here. If you grow up or raise a family in this neighborhood, your permanent dream is of doing better, even as you know not many around you will rise. Being from here, a good friend I grew up with in the Bronx explained to me once, means that we have to dream big. We have no choice. It's from this place that I got on the 6 train for the first time, on my own, to go into Manhattan for my first job when I was a high school senior. A true musical theater nerd, I answered an ad one day looking for young part-timers to sell programs and souvenirs in the